I just want to thank y'all for being here tonight. It's a great crowd at all the events we've had so far, and want to thank Richard. He and I have had a good time doing this so far, and I'm 100% convinced that no matter the outcome of this, people of Rabun County are going to be served well. I was both born here in Rabun County and chose to live here, which is really what I always wanted to do. And one of the reasons why I decided to run for this position is I want my children to have that same opportunity. I know many of the things that we do have a bearing on that, and so I try to keep that in mind in every decision that we make. I try to be pretty even-handed with how we deliberate with different departments. Over the next 2 weeks, we're going to meet with 35 different boards and departments, from EMS to all across the board. So my priorities this term will be public safety and jobs.
Thank you, Dr. Arbitter. Mr. Powers?
Before I start, I have a confession to make. I'm extremely hard of hearing. That's the reason my wife is up here to translate. I thought long and hard before I decided to run because of my hearing problem. But I'm told the county courthouse has facilities so that I will be able to hear and I will be able to function. I'm Richard Powers. I'm a retired firefighter from Macon, Georgia. I came to Rabun County as soon as I possibly could. I've been a full-time resident for 19 years. I got into this because I found myself complaining about a number of different issues, and I don't feel like I have the right to complain if I'm not willing to stand up and try to do something about it. I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate the opportunity to come and state my position, and I thank you also. It's been very pleasant. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Powers. We'll now move on to the questions with Ms. Werkheiser.
What is your top priority if elected to the board?
Dr. Arbitter.
Yes, top priorities that I appreciate the Clayton Tribune asking that question because for me, and I sat down and thought about it, we are going to be meeting with 35 departments and boards over the next couple of weeks. All the places that the Board of Commissioners have sway and support. But for me, really and truly, is public safety and jobs. And many of those different boards across the spectrum have influence over jobs, whether we're talking about the golf course or the senior center, but in particular, seeing that we get the development authority to be self-sustaining, if not profitable. We can't have all our eggs in one basket. Right now, we have so much tourism and whatnot. It's beautiful, but you can't have everything being tourism. We have to have some manufacturing jobs. We have to have other things. Even right now, we just don't have much at all. So I'd like to see more of those things happen, and particularly see public safety. The sheriff's department really needs some more help. They do a great job. Same with the EMS. Same with,
Thank you, Dr. Arbitter. You've reached your time.
Thank you.
Okay. This question.
My top priority is,
Mr. Powers.
is trying to get the development authority to pay its own way. Trying to get several of the things that we have, the arena to break even. That's costing the taxpayers in the neighborhood, and I'm not exact on this, around $100,000 a year. We need to either find a way to cut the expenses or get more participation and better paying participation. I don't think there's any lack of effort. I think they're doing everything they can. It's a beautiful facility, but we need to make it stand on its own in a number of different issues right now.
Thank you, Mr. Powers.
Okay, gentlemen, this question's for both of you. What is the Rabun County government's role in differentiating us from the rest of the small North Georgia towns seeking the same tourism dollars?
Mr. Powers.
Not sure I'm saying.
Yes. What is the Rabun County government's role in differentiating us from the rest of the small North Georgia towns seeking the same tourism dollars?
Well, we had the Tourism Development Authority. I feel like they do a pretty good job, but we need for them to cooperate with some of the other facilities to make them a little more efficient. That's part of what I was alluding to a while ago. The Tourism Authority, if they can work with a arena and try to bring in more quality events. We have some events that are one day and take up the whole weekend. It seems like to me that the more cooperation we can give between the Development Authority, the Tourism Authority, the arena, and everything else, the better off we are.
Thank you, Mr. Powers. Dr. Arbitter.
I agree 100% with what Richard's saying along those deals. How to differentiate ourselves from our neighbors. We've had a perfect example just in this past week. I went to a Tourism Development Authority meeting just prior to this, and just announced that for the first time in forever, there's a coordinated effort between all the cities and the county to bring anglers and diners, I might get the name wrong, so don't quote me on that, to come to film some episodes for a fishing network this summer. All the different cities have kicked in, and I think the Tourism Development Authority is doing a good job of working to promote all the cities in addition to the county to help celebrate our lakes, our mountains. We have so many different things here, from whitewater rafting to fishing, that do differentiate ourselves from our neighbors, and that's where we're at.
Thank you.
This is a question for Dr. Arbitter. What lessons were learned from the financial loss of the Tallulah Gorge Skywalk celebration that can be applied to the Tourism Development Authority's plans for a celebration of the upcoming eclipse?
First and foremost, not to be such not to have such, well, the eclipse is coming, all right? It's coming whether or not a TV deal is in the works or not. So let's start with that. Beyond that, planning something that is going to be within the scope of what our facilities can handle, what our people can handle. The Tourism Development Authority has announced what we're going to do for this event is mostly just be a disseminator of information, talking with all interested parties and making sure a very well visited exploreraven.com. If y'all have never been on it, you should check it out. It's really a great resource for all things Rabun County. Whether any of the cities have events, whether individual businesses or people have events, let the Tourism Development Authority know. And we'll use our contacts to get the word out around the world.
Thank you.
Candidates, this question is for both of you. What is your vision of Rabun County's future?
Mr. Powers.
I'm pretty much at a total loss. I didn't know what the Tourism Authority lost on that question.
It's a different question they asked me, Richard. That one was just for me. That one was just for me,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Ask
Clark,
Yeah.
repeat the question, please.
What is your vision of Rabun County's future?
Mr. Powers.
Your vision.
First one, I'd like to, for Rabun County, to keep the identity that we have. It's a small community. It's friends. We know people. We see. We love people. We have a very loving, generous, kind population. We have beautiful surroundings. I want to see growth, but I want to see the growth for the people who live in Rabun County. I don't want to see Rabun County as a suburb of Atlanta, like a lot of the small towns west of Atlanta have become. I would like to see us stay as close to the beauty and kindness and loving that we have right now.
Thank you. Dr. Arbitter?
My vision for Rabun County is to continue to be where spring spends the summer. Fortunately, we are surrounded by national forests, state parks, and Georgia Power Land that for the foreseeable future is going to protect us from expansive growth. That's our challenge here. We have our beauty, but our physical limitations. We have a large county for our departments to patrol, but a smaller tax base. What I'd like to see Rabun County is be just exactly the way it is right now, just with more jobs.
This is for both of you. Would you consider contracting with a commercial broker to lease the business park space, or do you advocate the current business model?
Dr. Arbitter?
Of course, the risks of working with a commercial broker is you could put it out there. We'll give you your percentage for anybody that can rent the business park out. The problem is you take all comers, and we want to with the development authority board that we have there now, they have the ability to find out, is this a Johnny come lately business, or is this one that's going to be here to stay? Are these going to be good jobs? Are they going to be minimum wage jobs? Hopefully even with a broker, we'd be able to keep some final say in who we allow to come and rent our space. But growth is going to come. It has come. I love to see what the groups that are there now are expanding. There's some very exciting contacts right now that really would be a game changer. But I wouldn't be against it.
Mr. Powers?
I definitely would consider that in most any other proposal that would get the business part where it was not costing us in the neighborhood of $1 million a year. I would consider a proposal if anybody was interested in buying the business park. We need to look at where we are right now. We borrowed, we paid $4 million for the business park. We paid $4 million for the business park. That's the land, the building, and the insurance. Then we borrowed $15 million to renovate it. Well, that $15 million paid for it and renovate it. Then we borrowed $1.7 million to pay the payments on what we just borrowed. Okay, well, but that's $15 million total. We wound up today, we owe $24 million on something that we paid $15 million for.
Thank you, Mr. Powers.
And gentlemen, this question's for both. What other boards, authorities, or organizations do you serve with?
Mr. Powers?
I currently don't serve on anything. I'm the founder of Richard's Kids. I serve on the board of directors of Richard's Kids. I was a volunteer firefighter here until it got to the point that my hearing was so bad I felt like I was a danger to them and myself. But other than Richard's Kids, that's the only board that I'm serving on at this moment.
Dr. Arbitter.
Currently, I'm the host to county commissioner, which takes up most of my time. I serve as a volunteer for Raven Paws for Life. I serve in the Raven County Bank Board of Directors currently. So those are my three areas right now where I currently serve.
This is a question for Richard. What is your experience that has prepared you to become a commissioner?
Mainly my experience is the way I've had to handle my personal finances all my life. I had to work very long, very hard to have anything. And I had to make priorities. I had to, if I was going to have anything, I had to look, is this really what I want? Is it worth giving something else for? And I basically had to live within my means. And I feel like not all governments need to do the same thing. We need to live within our means. We don't need to buy everything we want and then raise the taxes to cover it. We need to stop and think before anything is done or bought. Or the taxpayers getting their money's worth.
Okay. This question is for both candidates. What is your suggested remedy for the current stalemate between Raven County and the city of Clayton regarding the water service delivery strategy?
Dr. Arbitter.
I think the solution is just within reach. I mean, we're real close in December. We had agreed in principle with the lawyers that were there to discuss it, and everything seemed to be pretty good. And at the last minute, it just didn't quite make it. I think that in the end, we'll just have to sit down and it looks like figure out who actually paid for what, and when we figure out what is county assets versus city assets, figure out what that means as far as a service delivery strategy. For those that aren't aware of what that means, we have to have for water, sewer, different things like that for the county. All the other service strategies are all well and good. We just have to finish these up between the city and the county. And I think we'll get there. I think Darren's going to do a good job of continuing to work with the parties and work hard and figure out what's best for both parties.
Thank you. Mr. Powers.
Well, I think we need to start with a fresh sheet of paper. I've heard what this one did, what this one other did, and it's not good for anybody to have two governments at war with each other. It's not good for tourism. That's one of our biggest industry, and that's where we're getting the most publicity right now. We need to start completely over. One government can't threaten the other government. We've got to sit down and make sure that everybody, it's got to be a compromise. Nobody's going to get exactly what they want. But right now, everybody's hurt. Everybody's hurt because everybody's kind of stubborn right now. And it's going to take some new ideas. It's going to take starting completely over. You can't go back to what didn't work. We got to start over.
Thank you.
This is for both of you. What would you like to see the Board of Commissioners accomplish in 2017?
Mr. Powers.
I would like to see us, number one, begin to fill up the Development Authority building or the old Fruit Lagoon building. I'd like to see it begin to stand on its own. I would like to see the other keep saying the arena, I would like to see us be able to utilize it and it not cost the taxpayers money. It's a nice facility, it seems to be well run, but it shouldn't cost the taxpayers of Rabun County as much as it costs. I mean, their budget is about $142,000 a year, and I'm not sure where it brings in, but it's in the neighborhood of $40,000. I believe it can almost sustain itself, and probably can sustain itself in the future.
Dr. Arbitter.
Yeah, you know, hopefully by 2017, some of these problems will be resolved. Hopefully we'll have a service delivery strategy. Hopefully we'll have a self-sustaining client in the development authority paying the bills. You know, hopefully the arena will continue to grow. Some of these things that we're talking about, when I personally can't take any credit for what Steve Cave has done out of the arena other than supporting them. But when I first started, 6 out of 52 weekends were all that were taken up. But I think this past year, 50 out of 52 weekends were full of events. You know, so there's lots of good things. So what I would like to see in 2017 is that we continue to keep a budget that stays on track, that we don't have to raise a millage rate. I think 8 out of 9 years we've been without a raise, just that 1-2 years ago. You know, I'd like to see that everybody continues to watch their pennies and have a budget that stays where it's at.
Thank you.
This is a question for Mr. Powers. What is the strength of the Board of Commissioners and what is its weakness?
Its strength is the people in Rabun County. We have a population that is just fantastic. Its weakness is not listening always. There's been some conversation about, and I can understand part of it, about limiting the comments before the meeting. And I understand that that has to be controlled at some point. But I believe you have to give everybody an opportunity to speak. You may have to limit it to once. They don't get to get back up. You may have to limit a time limit. But I feel like that everybody should have a voice in county government. But the people that we're working with, and the people we govern, we have, the employees we have, are super.
Dr. Arbitter, this question is for you. What is your greatest accomplishment as a sitting commissioner?
You know, it's so hard to take credit for anything, you know, when you just have people working in the different departments that do so much good. The one I'm personally the most proud of would have to be what's happened with Rabun Paws for Life. You know, starting from nothing with $2,000 in the bank, growing to be one of the few nationally open admission, no-kill shelters that is run by a municipality, both Animal Control and Humane Society. The 98%, 99% live release for both dogs and cats as a true number, not a fudged number, is absolutely phenomenal. And that's due to the work and the love and the help of the people in Rabun County and my small role as CEO there before I stepped down would have to be the thing I'm most proud of.
Okay. And this question is for both of you. In what ways will you be accessible to the public?
Mr. Powers.
Well, I'll be about the same as what we have now. I will publish my cell phone. I will meet with anybody, anytime, and answer any questions. I feel like be a public servant, you've got to listen to what the public has to say.
Dr. Arbitter?
Well, I can tell you that I answer my emails, I answer my phone calls during the day when I'm working. I may have to call back later at night, but I do answer those. I go to a lot of public events around town where I get to talk to people. Do make myself available before and after commission meetings. But once a quarter, I meet either at Clayton Cafe or Clayton Pharmacy to meet with concerned citizens and just listen to the things they have to say. And you know, one of the, whether it's certainly not a huge forum or anything like that, but certainly anybody that has questions or comments, I invite them to join us at those Saturday meetings and listen to their concerns. Don't always agree with them.
We will now move on to closing statements. Dr. Arbitter?
I just want to thank Richard for his wisdom and willingness to serve, and everybody that's here for your interest in the community, as is mine. I think we've got a nice, cohesive group to work with, even though we don't agree with each other all the time on the board. Never a crossword between us, and I can promise you that for my part that will continue to be the case. That I will listen. Sometimes my answer won't agree with yours, but I'm going to do the best to my ability to find the best thing for Rabun County, and I'm going to give it my all for 4 more years. I'm fortunate that I have a good staff that can cover for me when I do all these things, and just hope you'll consider voting for me.
Mr. Powers?
Well, first of all, I'm asking for your vote. I realize I do not have all the answers. I'm going to need help. I'm going to need suggestions. I solicit your opinion, your advice. I'm new. I've never attempted to run for any public office before in my life. So I'm sure I'm gonna make some mistakes, and I worried a lot before I started. But I know that you can't please everybody, and I know people will get mad, and I don't want that. That's not the way I live. But I know it takes it sometimes. But I'm gonna listen. Maybe like Steve, I may not agree with you all the time, but I will listen. Thank you.
This concludes the Clayton Tribune's debate for Rabun County Commissioner Post 2. It also concludes tonight's debates. Be sure to join us tomorrow at 5:45 for the Mountain Judicial Circuit District Attorney debate, followed by the Georgia State House of Representatives District 8 debate. Special thank you for Dr. Arbitter and Mr. Powers for their participation, as well as all the hard work. And I'm just going to throw in a little selfish one. Thank you to my staff for putting this together. It's something that we've never done before on the scale they have. And these folks, Debbie and Camille and Megan and you, Matt and Clark, have just put their heart and soul into it and made my life a lot easier. And also, thank you to Cricket Workheiser for taking the call from a 2-month been here publisher and saying, absolutely, I'm all in. She joined us tonight. Tomorrow night, some people from other areas of the districts being represented will be joining us. So, and thank you to all of y'all. When I looked out and looked behind me, that was insane. So, thank you so much, and drive safely.